Many dominant team performances have taken place in the NBA playoffs history. It happens in the NBA playoffs when teams lose by significant margins. Although there aren't many blowouts in the NBA playoffs, there have been a few times where the margin of victory left fans perplexed. This video will cover the 10 biggest blowouts in NBA playoff history. Watch till the end not to miss out. Starting from the 10th on the list, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers 130-86 Boston Celtics. The Cleveland Cavaliers won with a margin of 44 points on the road. The Cleveland Cavaliers, headed by LeBron James, hold many records, including the most three-pointers made by a team in NBA playoff history, and becoming the first squad in NBA Finals history to rally from a 1-3 deficit against a 73-win Warrior squad. When they thrashed the Boston Celtics in Game 2 of the 2017 NBA Eastern Conference Finals, they set a record for the 6th highest margin of victory in NBA playoff history. A game-high 30 points were scored by LeBron James, 23 by Kyrie Irving, and 21 by Kevin Love. The Cavaliers shot 48% from beyond the arc while making 19 threes as they scored 56% of their points from the field. That evening, the Boston Celtics could not buy a bucket. On average, they shot 37% from the field and 29% from three-point range. The Cavaliers ultimately won the NBA playoff series 4-1. Following in 9th place is Seattle Supersonics 122-78 Phoenix Suns. With a winning margin of 44 points at home in the 1997 NBA playoffs opening round, the second-seeded Seattle Supersonics faced the 7th-seeded Phoenix Suns. One of the largest blowouts in NBA playoff history was produced by the Supersonics in Game 2 of the series. They got a fast start, jumping to a 35-18 lead early and holding it, dominating the opening quarter. Percy Hawkins added 19 points for Seattle, while Gary Payton and Sean Kemp scored 23 each. The Supersonics' field goal percentage was close to 50%. The Suns averaged 26% as a team, while their star player, Jason Kidd, only scored 2 points while shooting 0-7 from the field and 0-6 from beyond the arc. Next up is the LA Lakers 153-109 Denver Nuggets, with a margin of victory of 44 points at home. In Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals of the 1985 NBA playoffs, the Los Angeles Lakers swept the Denver Nuggets from the arena. The Los Angeles Lakers under Magic Johnson led the series 3-1 after winning both games in Denver. They sought to wrap up the series before facing the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. For his team's best night performance, Magic Johnson racked up 17 points and 19 assists. James Worthy scored a game-high 25 points. Byron Scott scored 21. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scored 15, and 3 reserve players scored in double figures. In a thrashing of the Nuggets, who could only average 38% from the floor, the LA Lakers scored 57% of their points from the field. And in the 7th place on the list goes St. Louis Hawks 145-101 Detroit Pistons 1958 with a margin of victory 44 points on the road. The St. Louis Hawks became the first team to win by 44 points in a playoff game when they did it in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals in the 1958 NBA playoffs. The Hawks hit a team-high 56% from the field with up to 7 players scoring in double figures. Bob Pettit added 23 points while Cliff Hagan scored 28 points. The Pistons, however, only managed a 30% field goal percentage and had a high scorer on the squad of just 16 points. Next is Orlando Magic 124-77 Boston Celtics with a margin of victory of 47 points at home. Everyone remembers Shaquille O'Neal's peak with the LA Lakers because of the MVP's championships and other honors he collected during that time, but it was also fantastic during his time with the Orlando Magic. He led his club to the NBA Finals in 1995 while averaging 29.3 points per game to win the scoring championship. The Orlando Magic dominated the Boston Celtics in Game 1 of the first round of the 1995 NBA playoffs to get their postseason off to a fast start. In 27 minutes, O'Neal scored a game-high 23 points, while Nick Anderson added 20. For the Magic, as many as 8 players reached double digits in scoring. The Boston Celtics, however, were held to only 77 points and shot 35% from the field on average. The Magic, 3-1, won the best-of-5 series. LA Lakers 135-88, San Antonio Antonio Spurs with a margin of victory of 47 points at home. The LA Lakers, headed by Magic Johnson, had yet another spectacular effort in this contest. In the 1985 NBA playoffs, they defeated the Denver Nuggets by 44 points. However, a year later in the playoffs, Pat Riley's team defeated the San Antonio Spurs by a score of 47 points after another flawless performance on his part. The Lakers dominated the Spurs in Game 1 of the series by shooting 66% from the field. Byron Scott scored a game-high 24 points, while Magic Johnson scored 13 points and handed out 18 assists. 16 points were scored by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, while James Worthy scored 18 points. The Spurs could only muster 88 points in response. With 6 players scoring in double digits, they did not do terribly from the field, shooting 45% on average as a team. The LA Lakers were on fire that night, which was hardly enough to stop them. Next is the Milwaukee Bucks, 136-86 San Francisco Warriors with a margin of victory of 50 points at home. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar participated in yet another NBA playoff rout. In the 1971 NBA playoffs, the Milwaukee Bucks destroyed the San Francisco Warriors by 50 points. The Bucks scored 56% of their team points in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals to end the series and advance to the conference finals. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar led the way with 23 points on 9-15 shooting. 7 players scored in double digits. A game-high 28 points were scored by John McLaughlin, while Oscar Robertson made 12. On the other hand, the San Francisco Warriors' leading scorer only contributed 13 points for the whole game, and they only managed to shoot 36% from the field. Now, here are the top 3 biggest blowouts in NBA playoffs history. The Chicago Bulls are third, 120-66 over the Milwaukee Bucks with a 54-point margin of victory on the road. In Game 6 of their series against the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round of the 2015 NBA playoffs, the Chicago Bulls destroyed them. Derrick Rose had 15 points, Pau Gasol had 19 points, Mike Dunleavy had 20, and Jimmy Butler had 16 points, and an absurd plus 46 for the game. The average field goal percentage for the Bulls was 51%, including 50% from the three-point range, and every player had a positive plus-minus rating. In contrast, not a single member of the Milwaukee Bucks scored more than 10 points. The club shot 32% from the field, notably 21% from beyond the arc, with Zaza Pachulia leading the way with 8 points. In the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton tallied 11 points combined. Next is the LA Lakers, 126-70 Golden State Warriors with a margin of victory of 56 points on the road. The Golden State Warriors were thoroughly outclassed by the LA Lakers, who had Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and Gail Goodrich among their all-star lineup. The LA Lakers won by the second largest margin of victory in an NBA playoff game, 56 points in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals during the 1973 NBA playoffs. Gail Goodrich scored 14 points, Wilt Chamberlain scored 12 points and grabbed 25 rebounds, and Jerry West scored 16 points and 11 assists. A game-high 28 points on 12 of 21 field goal attempts from Jim McMillian put him in the limelight. Only Rick Barry, a member of the Golden State Warriors, scored more than 10 points, making him the team's lone player to reach that mark. At the top of the list are 2 big blowouts. The first on the list is Minneapolis Lakers, who defeated St. Louis Hawks 133-75 at home with a 58-point margin of victory. One of the most bizarre NBA playoff games ever occurred while the LA Lakers were headquartered in Minneapolis. The Lakers beat the St. Louis Hawks by 58 points in Game 2 of the divisional semifinals in the 1956 NBA playoffs, which is tied for the largest victory margin in NBA playoffs history. Every single Lakers player registered at least 10 points that evening. Dick Schnitker scored 18 points, while Slater Martin scored 19 points. Bob Pettit led the Hawks in scoring 14 points, but the squad failed to find the basket, shooting just 24% as a whole. The series was ultimately lost by the Minneapolis Lakers, though. Another blowout topping with a margin of victory of 58 points on the road is Denver Nuggets 121-63 New Orleans Orleans Hornets. In the late 2000s, one of the best teams in the Western Conference was the Denver Nuggets, which Carmelo Anthony captained. The Nuggets destroyed the New Orleans Hornets by a staggering 58 points in the fourth game of the first round of the 2009 NBA playoffs. While Chauncey Billups scored 17 points, Carmelo Anthony scored a game-high 26 points. The club scored at least 10 points 7 times and shot 56%, including 50% from the three-point range. In 36 minutes, rookie Chris Paul scored 4 points, while David West led the squad with 14 points. The Hornets only shot 31% from the field and 13% from beyond the arc, and only 3 players scored in double figures. There you have it, the 10 biggest blowouts in NBA playoff history. Are there any that should be on the list? Please let us know in the comments section. Kindly give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more NBA news. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.